What's going on, horror gang? Welcome to I Shot Him 6 Times, YouTube horror movie channel. As you know, I'm your host, Marcus. Please be sure to shoot that like button, subscribe to the channel, so also hit that notification icon so you get all the latest content updates to the channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about the final Wreckoning trailer released for Halloween Ends that came out earlier today. But before I get into it, let's hit that intro. I shot him 6 times. Okay, everyone. So earlier today, we got another short trailer for Halloween Ends with audio clips from Jamie Lee Curtis's most recent interview about the film, dubbed The Final Reckoning. And much like in all these trailers that has been released for the film, left some interesting nuggets for us to speculate about, so let's get into it. In this shot, we see Laurie looking into a gaze. She seems to be looking out of her front door, though I can't really be sure about that at this time. But if you look behind her, you see Michael getting up after obviously being attacked by Laurie, and he's putting his mask back on. We knew at some point the mask would come off in this movie, and it seems like this is a sequence where it happens. And he seems to be heading back her way to retaliate, which is an homage / callback to this shot from Halloween 1978, where after Laurie stabs Michael with the clothes hanger, he collapses. She exits the closet to the door of the room, where she just leans against a wall, only to see Michael sit up and proceed to try to kill her even further. But what's more interesting about this shot from the trailer is Laurie doesn't seem to be bloody or battered in this shot, like we've seen her in previous set photos or scenes from the trailer, where we see her and Michael battling it out. Could this be a sequence where it's just the beginning of the battle? Laurie maybe shoots Michael and takes his mask off and she thinks she has won, but obviously she hasn't, as he is still alive. Sure, but I'd like to think Laurie would be way more aware that it would take so much more than just a few gunshots to take Michael out, which is why this shot stood out to me, as Laurie looks clean and unscathed. Nonetheless, if this scene is the final cut of the film, it's going to be fascinating to see how it plays out, and hopefully explains why Laurie looks so clean in this shot, though it seems she's already encountered Michael, and serves as another nice nostalgia feel with the callback to the 1978 sit-up scene. In this shot, we see Laurie sitting down with a rather drawn look on her face, and the way it looks like she is listening to someone. I'm going to assume this is a scene where Laurie is speaking to her therapist. I assume such because we know this movie is going to touch on trauma, as well as Laurie herself has supposedly gotten help in the last 4 years, so it only makes sense this could be a scene where we see her talking to a therapist or a doctor of some sorts. Possibly Dr. Mathis, a character I have yet to see in any of these trailers, but more on him in a later video. In this shot, we see Laurie looking down at someone. In the audio for this shot, you hear Laurie say, "You came here to kill me, so do it." So it's obvious she's talking to Michael, or someone that she believes to be Michael underneath the mask. Once again, this is another shot where Laurie looks clean while seemingly battling Michael Myers, which is still very odd to me, like I explained earlier. But what else is odd to me is not only what she says in her dialogue, but her lack of urgency to kill Michael. I say this because this is a woman who has dedicated her life to killing Michael Myers, and even though she has apparently moved on from even thinking about him over the last 4 years, it's just odd to me that she would even entertain any dialogue and not just aim to kill him right away and get it over with any chance that she got. Another thing that we need to make note of is some fans believe that the fake Michael Myers, the copycat Michael Myers we have seen in these trailers and assumed to be Corey Cunningham, is actually someone Laurie or her doctor hired as a coping mechanism for her trauma. So the belief is that they are staging attacks to I guess help Laurie with her trauma, I guess help her get over that fear of Michael Myers actually coming back. Now, I'm not saying that that's the case in this scene, as I myself don't believe that the staged attack coping mechanism theory is in play. Not to bash anyone who does, I respect your opinion. But given Laurie does look clean in this scene, and her willingness to kind of play games and waste time killing Michael, it does keep the staged attacks theory open for discussion, I will say, in my opinion. In this shot, we see the guy with the Haddonfield Letterman jacket on. Identity of this character is still unknown at this time, but we see this character look to be in a state of shock, like he had just witnessed a murder. It is worth to note that you can see this character banging on a neighbor's window for help in previous TV spot trailers, so it makes sense if he did just witness a murder or a possible sighting of Michael Myers, what have you. I'm also going to say this could be at the Halloween party, as in previous TV spot trailers we see Allison dancing at a club or a party with people seemingly in costume around her. In this shot we see copycat Michael Myers, and I say copycat Michael Myers because if you look at the hands look too clean, and it's a really quick shot, but if you look at the left hand, they seem to have all their fingers. But this copycat Michael Myers seems to be going to stomp someone's head in, which is a callback to Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 and Halloween 2018's kill scene with Dr. Sartain. Now we get to the steak and the potatoes of this trailer with these last two shots that I have. And in this shot it happens real quick in the trailer, but in this shot we see Michael seemingly stabbing someone. But what's important about this shot is the location, as it seems this scene is in the tunnels, as if you look behind Michael, you can see the grunginess and the ruggedness of the walls. Looks kinda cavish. Why this clue of the location is important is because we know Corey Cunningham not only goes down to the tunnels, but Michael attacks him. So this shot begs the question, is this Corey's death scene? Well, though it's very possible, we have another possible victim as well. In this shot from a previous TV spot trailer, we see an unidentified man with a flashlight searching the tunnels. But what's important is that it looks like this person has a coat or a jacket on of sorts. I know it's difficult to tell, but in my opinion, if you look hard enough, it seems this person is wearing a jacket. Why is this important? Well, given that what we know and have seen in previous trailers, Corey is wearing a t-shirt when he is in the tunnels. No jacket is visible. Now, does this unidentified person with the flashlight rule out that the person Michael is stabbing is actually Corey Cunningham? No, not at all. After all, we know Michael does attack him, so it's very possible he does kill Corey right there in the scene in the tunnels. I just want us all to keep an open mind that it does seem Corey isn't the only one outside of Michael who seems to be in the tunnels, and that person with the flashlight could be the one Michael is killing as well. Okay everyone, now on to the last shot that we have. We see Laurie and Allison looking on in the distance. Laurie looks like she's been through hell and back battling Michael, unlike in the previous shots that I've shown and talked about in this video. So, what are they looking at here? Well, in my opinion, I think this could be the potential ending shot of the movie. They could possibly be seeing Michael, Corey Cunningham, or whoever the copycat Michael Myers is. They could be seeing that person's body, or what's left of them, being drove away in an ambulance. Another thing to note is, outside of some messy hair, Allison looks unscathed and clean, as it seems no real damage was done to her in this movie, unlike in Halloween Kills, where we see Michael slam her head off his staircase post, then proceed to throw her down his stairs, prompting her to break her ankle. But most importantly, in my opinion, this shot possibly signifies that both Laurie and Allison will survive Michael once again in Halloween Ends, and it's all telling in the shot in my opinion. This shot just looks like the potential ending of a movie. It just does. Now, is this confirmation that this will be the ending and that they will survive? No, not at all. This is just my opinion. And in a later video, I will explain how all these scenes from these trailers might not be what we actually see in the final cut of the actual movie. But okay everyone, that is it for this trailer breakdown for the final Wreckoning trailer for Halloween Ends. Hit the comment section below and let me know your thoughts on the trailer, as well as who do you think Michael is stabbing in the tunnel? And do you think the last shot that I showed signifies that Allison and Laurie will both survive in Halloween Ends? And do you think this shot is the ending of the movie? Once again, this is I Shot Him 6 Times YouTube horror movie channel. As you know, I'm your host Marcus. Please be sure to shoot that like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps the channel out a lot. So also hit that notification bell so you get all the latest content updates to the channel. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon. Thank you all for watching.